Finally, another method of using an external style sheet is with a CSS import statement. So the @import statement lets us import CSS from other style sheets. So it shares some of the same advantages as linking a style sheet, like browser caching and maintenance efficiency. So back inside the head section of our page, right underneath the link tag, let's create a new style tag like we did earlier. And inside the style block, I'm going to write @import followed by a set of quotes and a semicolon. And inside the set of quotes, we'll specify the path to the CSS file we want to import. So in our workspace's CSS directory, we should see a file named importstyles.css containing simple layout, background, and color styles. Again, don't worry about these styles right now. We just want to see how this import statement will affect our page. So now we'll go ahead and specify the path to that CSS file by writing css/import-styles.css. So now we will save our index.html file, and when we refresh our preview, we now see how the page has imported the styles from importstyles.css. Cool. We can also import a style sheet from within a style sheet. So let's go ahead and remove the import statement from our HTML file. So I'm going to select it, then cut it from this style block. And now we can go ahead and delete the style tags since we no longer need them. Then we'll save our index.html file and move over to our style.css file. And here we can paste the import statement at the very top of our style sheet. Now it's important to remember that the import statement must precede all other CSS styles in a style sheet in order for it to work properly. So always keep the import statement up top like we're doing here. Now, because our style.css file is already inside the CSS directory, we don't need to include the directory name in our path. So I'll just go ahead and remove the CSS// and we'll just keep the file name inside the quotation marks. All right, so when we save our style sheet and refresh the browser preview, notice how nothing has changed because we're still importing the same CSS file. The difference is that we're importing it from our style sheet instead of our HTML file as we were doing earlier. So this import method can make our CSS more modular by letting us separate our CSS into different styles. So while the page may link to one main style sheet, the style sheet can import other style sheets for, say, base styles, layout, typography, and so forth. Now, the drawback to using this @import method is site performance, as each of these import statements requires a new request to the server. So if we have too many, they can be pretty expensive in terms of load time. So let's quickly review some of what we've learned so far about CSS. CSS is a style sheet language that handles the presentation layer of a web page. There are 3 different ways we can add CSS to a page, but the most common and most efficient method is with an external style sheet that's linked from the head of the document. And the .css file extension is what tells the browser that the file is a style sheet. The styles written in a style sheet can be shared across multiple web pages. Coming up next, we'll learn the different ways we're able to target HTML elements and apply styles to them with CSS selectors.